Okay, we're back, everybody, and our beef is still marinating in that milk and that egg, and we got 15 more minutes on it. I hear the timing. Let's see the timer over there. So while we're doing that, we will just go ahead and finish off our cut okra. Okay, and all the seasons that I showed you up here. Can you see all the seasons up here? Are in the cut okra, except for the steak. That steak seasoning, we did not put that in there. But the lemon and pepper for sure, the sea salt, the peppercorn medley, the garlic powder, Mrs. Dash onion herb, Mrs. Dash garlic and herb, and the paprika. And so this is kind of what it looks like. I actually seasoned it up like this. But we're going to mix this up, this seasoning right here, because we're going to dip it in the egg, and then we're going to do our breadcrumbs. But let me show you the breadcrumbs. I lined them in a tray. So this is our panko Italian, and this is also panko too. But it's Japanese panko. But we're gonna just mix them together. Okay, we're gonna mix them together. We want we're not frying the okra, but we are basically kind of roasting it in the oven, I would say. We're gonna do it like that. Okay, so just kind of combine it, mix it all up. Okay. All right. So we'll just get this mixture for it. Okay, so these are all the seasonings, the spices that are in there. We're just going to mix those up in a little bowl. And then we're going to add the egg mixture to this. And then we're going to basically kind of roll it in our breadcrumbs. And then we're going to put it on a tray, on a baking sheet, and put it in the oven. Okay? So if you need more of these seasonings, as you're mixing up, you can see the consistency here. You know, it might need a little more pepper. So, you know, you might want to add a little more pepper. Just kind of, you know, you can mix it up and see how it's looking. And salt, you know, to your taste. Put a little more salt in there. I'm going to add a little more pepper in here. A little more pepper in there. Okay. Mix it up. Okay, that's good. Totally your preference, you know, because, you know, you might want more salt. And you might not even use what I use. But I use sea salt in all of my recipes. I use sea salt, the fine one. This is the one I use. But it's totally your preference. I'm trying to, you know, prepare dishes a more nutritional way. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, and this is the other egg. Remember the other egg? We had the white egg. Okay, that one we're going to mix inside the broccoli. I mean, not the broccoli, the okra. We had broccoli last night, didn't we? Okay. So let's just mix that up like this. Okay. And yeah, it's going to be a little, you know, like this. But those breadcrumbs, when we roll it in there, and it's totally, you can also put the olive oil, a little olive oil in here too as well, which I'm going to do. And I'm also going to, on the baking sheet too, with it. Okay. We're going to do both. Just a couple of tablespoons of that in there. Okay, mix it up. And then mix it in the breadcrumbs. Okay. So, see, so now it's like a thicker paste. Okay. Because we want the egg to kind of hold this all together. Okay. So just kind of pull them out. Show you what I'm doing, guys. So far, got some of them in there. Okay. So you put a little as you go because you want them to all be coated, you know, with these breadcrumbs. You want them all to be coated with it. Kind of do it like that. Add a little more. So you're not so much adding all of this, the egg. You know, you just want them to be coated with it, okay? Yeah, you don't want, and another thing, what I think I'll do is garlic, okay? And you can also put the garlic in your liver. And this is a nice little gadget for garlic. I put a couple of big cloves in here, and all you do is turn it and turn it. You know, it's a good way from prep. And see, there you go. And then lift it out. You just push the bottom. There's like a incision right here in the bottom. Just push it and see, and slide it off of there. Slide it off its track right there. I think it comes in pretty handy. Okay, so I think we'll sprinkle some of this garlic on there, and we'll save the other clove that's on the other side, and I think we'll put that in the gravy. In our gravy, our onions and gravy. We'll do that. So let's mix this up a little bit more, and then you can start using your hands now with gloves on to mix this okra up in here. See, because we want it to be like and that's kind of what it's looking like. Okay, doesn't look like it's doing anything, but once we get it in the baking sheet in there, it's gonna turn into something. It's gonna be like roasted, and then we're gonna sprinkle this garlic on there too. Okay, so if you think you need a little more breadcrumbs, go ahead and do that too, because that's what it looks like this needs too, is a little bit more. So we're going to add a little bit more breadcrumbs on there. Get that going. Okay. And then for our rice, for our jasmine rice, our steamed jasmine rice, we're going to actually, for a little flavor, you know, it's up to you, your preference. You can put salt, but I actually don't add anything to Thai jasmine rice because it has its own flavor. It has its own aroma. But I do add something like lemon peel, or I add rice vinegar, either one of those. So I think I'm going to do some lemon peel on the rice. So that's for that. Okay, so when we come back, now it's only 10 minutes for our liver. So when we come back, we'll get that going. Get these onions in here and start, you know, cooking them up. We're not going to cook them long. We just want them like translucent. We don't want to, you know, we don't want to cook them too long like that. And then, you know, because our gravy, and you know, it's your preference. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook the onions in a cast iron skillet with the butter and the olive oil. And then I'm going to transfer it out of that pan. And yes, I'm going to scrape up anything that's left in there just from the onions. And I'm going to put it into a larger one, so like this, so that all of our beef liver will fit. Okay, I just wanted to show you that. Okay, so when we come back, our time should be up for our beef liver, and we'll get our onions and for our gravy going, and we'll get our beef cooking, and we'll see what it looks like. So stay tuned.